our final power rankings from last year, but let's read off our 20 through 11 for TikTok purposes real quick. Then we'll go into our final 10 teams. So if you got them at number 20, I got the Miami Heat. At number 19, I got the Chicago Bulls. At number 18, I got the Sacramento Kings. At number 17, I got the Dallas Mavericks. At number 16, I got the Milwaukee Bucks. At number 15, I got the Atlanta Hawks. At number 14, I got the Memphis Grizzlies. At number 13, I got the Orlando Magic. At number 12, I got the Detroit Pistons. And at number 11, I got the Golden State Warriors.
At 20, I got the Chicago Bulls. At 19, I got the Miami Heat. At 18, I got the Sacramento Kings. At 17, I got the Atlanta Hawks. At 16, I got the Dallas Mavericks. At 15, I got the Orlando Magic. At 14, I got the Memphis Grizzlies. At 13, I got the Golden State Warriors. At 12, I got the Milwaukee Bucks. And at 11, I got the Detroit Pistons.
Let's move on to our top 10, man. At number 10, this is where I got the Indiana Pacers. Thought the Pacers were a really good team last year, man. You know, they went to the finals, and it was at the beginning of the new year. That's when they basically clicked and was they were the second best team in the league at the beginning of the year. But I know Tyrese kind of started slow and they were kind of mid early on. But I mean, going to the finals proves a lot, but do I think they was better than some of these other teams? Probably not, but they were still a really good team last year. They did win 50 games. So at number 10, I got the Indiana Pacers, man. They were a really good team last
year. Number 10, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves. I thought they played very solid the entire year. They really didn't have any downs. They really didn't have any ups. They just played like really solid. So I got them at 10.
Minnesota at 10. Interesting. Good team, man. That's a good team. At number 9, this is where I got the Lakers. I got the Los Angeles Lakers at number 9. Look, you know, they did get Luka. They were still a good team with Luka. They were a good team without before they got him. The defense was good at one point. The offense was still good at one point, but like, yeah, they lost in the first round. I get all that, but I feel like they still had some growing to do. And like, you know, you're getting a star player and it just you got to get that to work instead of like a 20, 30 game sample size. So the Lakers were still a good team. I don't think it would be right to put them in the top 5 or something like that. So I got the Lakers at number 9.
At number 9, I got the Indiana Pacers. Like you said, Tyrese started off slow. They really kind of started off slow. And then they turned it around after Christmas. After Christmas is when the Pacers started to excel and start to play really good. I thought they played better than the Timberwolves. And that's only because of that run that they went on after Christmas. Like I said, the Timberwolves, they were really like just solid the whole season. You know what I mean? But the Pacers, they really took off after Christmas. So I put the Pacers ahead. I got Pacers at 9.
Man, I wish Tyrese was playing. And he's not even going to sniff the court next year. He's not even going to sniff it. At least Jason Tatum will come back at least. That's Timothy right there. Another year when he come back, I got to defend the man in the group chat. Jesus Christ. But at number 8, this is where I got the Clippers. The Los Angeles Clippers at number 8. Really good team. Kawhi Leonard came back somewhat late. James Harden had an all NBA year this year. Zubac was one of the best defensive players this year. They had a really good year. Yes, they lost in the first round to the Denver Nuggets, but you know, they still had like an overall good year. To some people, like they did win 50 games. They were the 4th seed. No, they were the 5th seed. They were the 5th seed last year. So, you know, could they have gotten better? Probably, but Kawhi Leonard just not being there. He was healthy down the stretch, but they were still a good team. So I got the Clippers at number 8.
Yeah, I got the Clippers at 8 too. Like you said, the Clippers, they started the season off okay. And then once Kawhi came, they ended up going 26-11 with Kawhi when he came back, and then they ended the year on an 8-game winning streak.
They
So
did.
I got the Clippers at number 8. I thought they had a decent season. I thought they should have advanced, but to each their own.
They weren't beating the Thunder anyway. They weren't gonna beat them. They wasn't gonna beat them. At number 7, this is where I have the Timberwolves, man. The Timberwolves was a really good team. Anthony Edwards was 3-point guard last year, attempting almost close to 10 threes a game. Julius Randle was good last year, too. Rudy Gobert was decent. They still, Nas Reed was good. Like, they still had kind of the same year as the year before, but they were good this year. And they exceeded expectations for a lot of people, especially us, because we did not think they was going to do all this. We thought they would
Mhm.
probably be at least mid to average, but they were still a top seed. Not a top seed, but they still won 49 games and went back to the Western Conference Finals again under Anthony Edwards as the guy. So I think they deserve, at least for me, to be at number 7. Like, Timberwolves was a surprising good team last year.
7. I got the Denver Nuggets. I thought that the Denver Nuggets, even though they didn't fall under 500 their entire season, it didn't look like a good brand of basketball. They were fighting for every single win. It just didn't look like the Denver Nuggets that we were accustomed to. Um, and so, yeah, I got them at 7.
At number 6, this is where I got the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets, they were a good team, and yes, you did fire Mike Malone, but you were right though. They didn't look like the same team, but they were still like a good team. Jamal Murray didn't have like this little great year, but Jokic was still Jokic. He averaged a triple double. Aaron Gordon was really good last year. Michael Porter kind of had a down year. Westbrook was good for them, no matter what you think of him. Westbrook did have a good year for the Nuggets. He had some key plays for them. He had some not good plays for them, but he was still decent. But the Nuggets were still like a top tier team. They were the 4th seed last year, and I thought they deserved to be at least at number 6. Man, the Denver Nuggets at 6. They were a good team last year.
At 6, I got the Los Angeles Lakers. Just like the Denver Nuggets, they didn't fall under 500, and then even after the AD trade, they went 21-13. Because it was a stretch where Luka didn't play and Bron was carrying that team. The Lakers did really well last year, even when AD was hurt. Even though AD stayed healthy most of the time, when AD was out, you thought the Los Angeles Lakers would lose, but they didn't. When Luka was out, you thought they would lose, but they didn't. Um, and so, yeah, I got the Lakers at 6. I thought LeBron James did a really good job of leading that team. So, what was they, the 4th seed or
Yeah,
5th
no, they were
seed?
thirsty. They was thirsty.
Third seed, third
Yeah,
seed.
they
So
was
yeah,
thirsty.
I thought
They was-
the Lakers played really well.
we have entered to the top 5. At number 5, this is where I got the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets shocked everybody. Not me though. I thought they would be a good team. But no, though. I didn't think they would be number 3, though. I mean, I didn't think they'd be a 2 seed. I didn't think that, but I did think they was going to be a better team. The offense was better, but the half court offense was bad. Their defense was elite. Amen Thompson took a leap last year. Jalen Green was still decent. Alperen Sengun was still good. Like, they just had a good team, and their defense was so great. Just lost in the first round to a veteran team and past champions in Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. So, I got the Rockets at 5. They deserve to be in the top 5. They were a really good team last year.
At 5, I got the New York Knicks. New York Knicks. We had questions if they were gonna start off good or get off to a slow start, and they didn't. They started off really well. But towards the end of the season, after All Star break, they went 15-13. That's not good at all. But they salvaged their season. And they end up making it to the conference finals. We Some people would have thought they should have made it to the finals, but they didn't. But Cat played well for them the entire year. If Mikal Bridges would have gave us anything more, we could have went to the finals. But OG had a good year for us as well. Jalen Brunson was Jalen Brunson as per usual. So yeah, I got the Knicks at 5.
At number 4, this is where I got the Knicks. The New York Knicks, man, they were a very good team, one of the best teams in the East. They were the 3rd best team in the East. They did win 51 games. They did go to the conference finals. Like Charles said, Cat was great basically the all year, average a double-double. Jalen Brunson was clutch play of the year, one of the best point guards in the league this year, man. He was really good. And those two led this team far in the playoffs to get out of conference finals. They probably should have went to the finals, but they did go far. And a lot of people didn't expect them to even beat the Celtics, including me. I didn't think they was going to beat the Celtics, but they did beat the Celtics. They went to the conference finals. So I got the Knicks in the top 4, man. New York Knicks at 4.
At 4, I got the Houston Rockets. The defense was great the entire season. The offense struggled a little bit. But they had a tough stretch in like February and March. But for the most part, the Houston Rockets exceeded expectations. A lot of people didn't think they were going to be top 16. They probably thought they were going to make the play-in or playoffs, but they didn't expect them to be 2 in the West. So yeah, I got the Rockets at 4.
At number 3, this is where I got the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics won 61 games. Obviously, a lot of people thought they would be the top team in the league, and in the East, they wasn't, but they were still really good. If you want to say they regressed from last year when they won a championship, that's fine, but they were still good. Jason Tatum had an all-NBA year. Jaylen Brown, he had a down year for his standards. Honestly, a lot of them had a down year for their standards, but the fact that with that, they still won 61 games, and that's led by Jason Tatum himself. But this team did lose in the second round to the Knicks. Like I said, I thought the Celtics were going to beat them. They didn't, but they still had a really good year. But to them, they probably was a failure, but they were like the third best team in the league. So I got the Celtics at 3.
Same. I got the Celtics at 3 as well. For all the reasons that you said. Only thing that I can add on to it, the only 2 people that showed up that year was Jason Tatum and Derek White. I'm the only 2 people that showed up that year. They played well throughout the season. They had a tough stretch in like December and January, but they ended up ending strong. And if Jason Tatum didn't get hurt, we probably would be talking about them in the finals or in the conference finals. So yeah, I got the Celtics at 3 as well.
And then with number 2, if we got the same at number 2, we know what number 1 is. And number 2, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. They won 64 games, shocked everybody. Nobody thought they would be this high, including me. I thought they would probably be like the 5th best team in the East. They were really good. The defense was it kind of fell off to an extent, but the offense was amazing. They had probably top 2, top 3 offense in the league. Donovan Mitchell had a really good year. Evan Mobley showed a lot of people what he could do on the offensive end. Darius Garland had a bounce back year from the year before. This team was just overall really good. They just lost in the second round to the Pacers, but the Cavs are 2. And then the number 1, obviously, is the Thunder. Thunder were the best team all year from day one. Best defense, greatest, damn near arguably the greatest defense ever. A top 5 offense in the league, led by Shea, the MVP of the league, won the finals MVP. He did everything, man. Averaged 30 points. J-Dub was good. Chet played good, even though he got hurt. Alex Caruso was good off the bench as defensive stopper. Like, this team was just great overall. So at number 2 was the Cavs, and at number 1 is the Thunder.
Oh yeah, same. I got the Cavs at 2, and then I have the Thunder at 1. Only thing I can add to it was they was both dominant all season. Both teams were dominant all season. Even with the Thunder, when people went down and missed games, Shea showed up and showed out. And obviously, like you said, he showed why he was the MVP of last year.
All right, so for our final top 10, at number 10, I got the Indiana Pacers. At number 9, I got the Los Angeles Lakers. At number 8, I got the Los Angeles Clippers. At number 7, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves. At number 6, I got the Denver Nuggets. At number 5, I got the Houston Rockets. At number 4, I got the New York Knicks. At number 3, I got the Boston Celtics. At number 2, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers. And at number 1, I got the OKC Thunder.
For 10, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. At 9, I have the Indiana Pacers. At 8, I have the Los Angeles Clippers. At 7, I have the Denver Nuggets. At 6, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. At 5, I have the New York Knicks. At 4, I had the Houston Rockets. At 3, I had the Boston Celtics. 2, Cleveland Cavaliers. And at 1, Oklahoma City Thunder.